connecting the dots, connecting his guests to the world, creating more connections. Welcome to The Connection. Meet your host, author, coach, Air Force veteran, Jay Miralles.
I'm so excited for you to join us today. I am with my guest, Jodi Jefferson, and she is the entrepreneur of Busy Bee Baking Company. But beyond that, we're friends. And I just want to say, this is your second time on the show. Is that right?
It is.
It is. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. You can kiss the microphone. It's clean. Jodi is an Air Force veteran, and she's got 21 years of service, faithful service to our country. And Jodi, take us after that. So after you left the service, what did you do and why did you do it?
Yeah, so when I retired, it was right during right when COVID kicked off is when I retired. So my transition was a little bit different than what most people experience. I did an internship with a local chef, and because people weren't gathering, we couldn't do most of his catering events. And so we would just meet, we would talk about his business, different things like that. And I learned a lot from him. And in the meantime, I just started baking again a lot and posting things on Facebook. I had a pretty good clientele when we lived in Maryland. And then when I got stationed here at Offutt, our children were really little. My husband was over in Korea. I was flying all the time and I just didn't have time. And so when COVID kicked off and we were stuck in the house for days upon days and everything was shut down, it was a perfect time to just pick up that baking again. And with social media, it just really took off.
Which is crazy. So when did you know that you could bake? When was the first day you were like, man, I think I can do this? Or was it like that?
My mom and grandma always baked a lot. So I was always the chubby kid because my mom always had sweets around the house. My dad had his own construction company and she packed his lunch faithfully for 40 years. And there was always a sweet treat in his lunchbox. And so we also got to enjoy those things as well. My grandma, she was really short. And so she had a counter in her house that was shorter than normal so that she could roll out her bread dough. And so I remember as a kid being able to stand at that counter as a kid. And, it was a normal height then for me too. So many memories of my mom and my grandma. And so, I remember buying my first set of springform pans when I lived in the dorms in South Carolina and baking a carrot cake.
In the military. You were in the military. Yes.
Yep. For some friends. And then I just always kind of baked after that.
You've baked or chefed for some very important people. Can you kind of share a list of the people you've baked for?
So when I was a flight attendant in the Air Force, I served many of our nation's leaders, from congressmen, senators, secretaries of defense, secretaries of state, all the way up to the first ladies and the presidents, to include Mrs. Laura Bush, President Bush, Mrs. Obama, and President Obama.
That's crazy. I mean, who even says that, right? Even on the list of resumes, people are always name dropping. And that's a great story to tell. It's great to pass down to your children. And I don't think you even have to ever say, I've done this for these famous people or for these powerful people, because it comes out in your work. I think your work speaks for itself. And, when you and I speak off, the podcast, we're friends. And I'm telling the world that, without telling the world, that you're one of the best, most passionate people who, I don't want to just minimize and call you a baker, right? I want to tell everyone that you pour your heart into something and it's therapeutic for you.
Absolutely.
Right? It's either that or, get crazy. But I think more so, I think there's a lot of chefs and a lot of bakers and a lot of people who want to do what they do. And most people think of monetization first, right? How do I make money at this? Was that ever a thing for you when you started baking?
No, I mean, once I retired, I'm blessed to have that retirement income at 40 years old. Mm-hmm. Some disability income from being broken from my time in the service.
Okay, yes. And yes.
So I started it more as something to keep me busy because, I mean, in the military, it was just go, 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 go all the time. And so I found that it was very hard to just slow down and enjoy retirement.
Yeah.
And so that's why I kind of just started dilly-dallying, I guess I would call it, in the kitchen. And then now it became this full-time job where I'm constantly telling people no, because I just don't have the bandwidth.
I've been to your kitchen, and I know the dilly-dallying is not dilly-dallying. It is full-blown operation. It is like standby, coming out the oven. Here we go. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a lot of stuff. And I get it, right? But I think what's cool is, and what I want people to connect on this episode is your philanthropic heart. I want people to know that it's not your philosophy. I think it's just at your heart, right? And we got to witness that for the very first time, you know, with our nonprofit. And you raised almost 20 plus, or not almost, over $20,000 individually with your business as well, with Busy Bee Baking Company. But I don't think people realize, and I want them to know this, she is using her talent and her own money. She didn't just conjure the flour out of the air. She didn't just make the sugar appear. You spent your own money, your own time, your own equipment, your own hours, 24 hours. And we're going to talk about that process. But Jodi, I think people can give to nonprofits or the community in three ways: time, talent, treasure. You just happen to do all three. And I think that's pretty incredible. So with that being said, this is going to propel you for this year, and you're getting ready for it now. I want you to talk about who you're raising money for and why you're raising money for them. And I want to get out. I want to reveal a couple things, you know, that you're doing, but I want them to hear the why, the connection to philanthropy.
Yeah. So our church has a motto that we exist to live and love like Jesus.
Yes.
And so a lot of things I do, I think back to that. And I'm just blessed. I'm blessed with a talent.
Yes, for sure.
And so I just feel like that, even though it's baking, you know, it's something that.
What do you mean, even though it's baking? It's incredible.
You know, I'm serving people.
Yes.
And a long time ago, when I was at one of the academies for the military, we had to do a paper on a very important person. And I chose Truett Cathy, who was the founder of Chick-fil-A. He was a huge philanthropist.
Yes.
And I learned so much about him, and, you know, how much he poured back into the community.
Yes.
And so that his story really resonated with me. And I had some other experiences in the military where it was just giving back, you know, as much as we could. And it just fills your cup. I mean, It makes you just feel so good. And if I was a millionaire, I would just be giving out money all the time. You know, my kids watch these YouTubers where they're like just giving out money. And they're like, that's so cool. I want to do that, Mom. And I'm like, well, it's not really realistic for a 12-year-old. But, you know, to have that thought, to want to do that, you know, is exciting.
It is.
And so, yeah, I am just blessed.
Connecting the dots, connecting his guests to.
Okay, we're back. Yes.
So I'm just excited that we can do that.
So here's what I'll ask you. Do you think, you just said something a few minutes ago or a few seconds ago that said, you know, I see these YouTubers giving away millions and are giving away money because they're millionaires, right? Okay. They're millionaires. They're giving away money. That's good. I'm not saying you're not a millionaire. I'm saying that you are at a level in life that you are still giving, and you're not on YouTube, and you're not on social media just saying, look at me, how we're giving away iPhone 15. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're giving, and you're probably giving till it really hurts or is very meaningful for you.
Well, like last year when I wrote that check to 50 Mile March.
Yes.
You know, as I'm writing this $12,000 check, I'm thinking I could take my family to Disney.
Yes.
But we're not.
Yes.
You know, and my whole family was involved in that. I mean, they saw how hard we worked. Mm-hmm. They helped. They built boxes. They, you know, everybody in our family is involved. My dad makes deliveries out west. My mom is in the kitchen, like elbows deep in the whole mess.
I know.
And my kids see how hard we work. And I just hope that, you know, in the long run, a quick 1 week in Disney, they would have memories from that. But this is building
their legacy,
Yes.
their lives. But Jodi, I want a very pointed message out to people listening right now. I don't like to even use the word hate. I do not agree with people who ask for discounts or they ask you to cheapen your product to fit their budget. Listen, we all have to be conscious, right? But you know what? Don't ask me to cheapen my product and you're wearing Louis Vuitton shoes. Okay. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
don't talk to me about like, well, we can only do this, like, or we're a nonprofit, or we're not this, or our company's just new. Listen, what you're asking Jodi Jefferson to do is to take food off her kitchen table. When you say, listen, can we get 2 of those for the one? No, you're taking resources from somebody. I think it's not just about you. This is about everybody. So Jodi, tell us now about your product. Now that I got off my rant, it felt good to say that though. You know what? I'm not going to apologize for that statement. People should not ask of you. They should learn of you and what you're actually doing for the community. Then they would go, oh, I don't think she can do the Parents Guild fundraiser for free.
Yeah. And I feel like it's easy for schools and smaller groups that are trying to raise money for very important causes. And I get that, but it's easy for them to ask a small business, even though most small businesses are the ones struggling.
100%.
The bigger businesses have processes in place, and people don't get an immediate yes or no. They have to fill out a form, and then there's a waiting period, and they don't want to do that. They want to walk into a place, send an email, make a phone call, and they want instant gratification, whether it's yes or no, and keep on moving to the next.
I think that's important. I want to stay on that because you said small business, right? And I sent this to a friend of mine, and I want the world to hear this too. Man, I'm full of rants today, but it's going to help you and help me too. So here's what I'm wrestling with, right? We always talk about, small businesses and you're the backbone and things of that nature. But, oh my gosh. Oh, you can do big things with small teams, but it's hard to do small things with big teams.
Yep.
Replace the word teams with corporations or businesses, right? You're scrappy and agile. You can do what you want when you want. You can turn on a dime. But as soon as you start getting that big box business, are they really in your best interest? No, they have shareholders and things, and good for them. I don't chastise that. But what I want to reinforce is when they're looking at Busy Bee Baking Company is that they look beyond the price. I want them to see the value and the things that you bring to the table. So, all right. Again, who are we raising money for? And tell me how this tradition started for you.
Yeah. So when I worked on Air Force One, we would hold a Thanksgiving bake sale every year. And the funds that we raised would always go to offset the cost of our Christmas party. We always had an extravagant Christmas party. And about 4 years into doing it, I thought, why am I doing this? Like it was a ton of work.
Yeah.
There was one year where we had a surprise trip to the war zone, the week before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And I had all these orders that I still needed to fulfill. And so I remember landing back in Maryland after a 36-hour trip to the war zone and having to stay in the kitchen and continue to bake for 12, 14, 16 hours, which was something I chose to do. And yeah, I probably could have said, hey, we're just going to have to cancel this.
We're done
year.
in a war zone because nobody cares about your war zone except you.
Right.
Right.
But we didn't. I baked and, all the orders were done in time and we raised the money. Well, then the 4th or 5th year to doing it, I thought, why aren't we making better use of these funds? And so a bunch of us flight attendants got together and I said, how cool would it be to take the money that we raise and we go visit the wounded warriors in Walter Reed?
Yes.
And so we raised several $1,000s that year and we got in contact with someone from Walter Reed and we went in and we blessed so many veteran service members that were missing limbs. I mean,
they were sick or injured. That's why they're in Walter Reed.
Yes, absolutely. Like arms blown off.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
I remember one gentleman, I think both of his legs got blown off and one arm. And so we just all went in and we purchased several iPads. We purchased magazines, gift cards, just things that we thought would lift their spirits, books.
Yeah.
And it was just they were so grateful. We didn't know any of them, but when we walked out of there that day, I mean, we were all in tears and our cup was full.
Your energy changed when you're talking about that. I mean, that's the ultimate, to be able to, and in turn, you feel blessed to be able
absolutely.
to do that, right? And I think, when you write a thank you card for someone who did a random act of kindness for you, that's powerful. I think what you did was not only powerful, but the message was strong to the people you didn't even know. Right. And it all came from baking. Yeah. Right? Think about that, right? Where do we get the money? Well, Jodi whipped it up, I guess. But, that's pretty cool. So it carried on outside.
Yeah. So then when I got stationed here, took a few years off. Again, life was just crazy. My mom has terminal cancer. And so she was sick. The kids were little. David was gone. And then one year, the church that we attend, they were needing some funds to purchase a vehicle for their youth parent life ministry.
Yeah.
And so I said to my mom, I feel like we can make an impact. How are we going to do it? And so I said, let's do this Thanksgiving bake sale again.
Hold on right there. Like in regular conversation, like, what is it that we can do for you? Well, we're trying to raise money for a vehicle, right? Do you know how many people shy away at, oh, you want a donation for this? Oh, you want a shirt donation to sponsor your football team? You want this? If someone said to me, we're trying to raise money for a car, right? Most people think what? Oh, I could never. Oh, I might buy you a door handle, right? I'll buy gas money. What did you think when you were taking on that project? Did you even know how much they needed to raise?
I figured it was probably 10 to 15,000.
Golly. And what year was that?
Well, we're on our 5th year.
Yeah. So 5-ish years ago, 4-ish years ago. So you had no idea what it even took. You were just like, Mom.
Yeah. Like any little bit we can contribute will help the cause, right?
How much did you end up raising?
So that first year we raised, I think it was like 2,500.
Okay.
So yeah, we partner with Thrivent Financial every year. We have investments through them, and they have a action team project that you can do where they'll give you a jump start of $250.
That's cool.
That buys us $250 of flour, sugar, and butter every year.
That's awesome.
And then everything else comes out of our pocket.
To start small and humble, first of all, $2,500 is not small. Who do you know that's like, yeah, I'll take a check for $2,500? And let's be honest, the blood, sweat, and tears that went into all that, the time, the prep, the exact precision that took, right? It's not like, well, we're just going to put this together tonight at 9:00 tonight. It's going to take you hours of time and our army of volunteers. So you got that. Tell us about other fundraisers, just from a high level that you've done.
Yeah. So then the following year, we partnered with the Ronald McDonald House because we had some friends. Their son has Down syndrome and they live out in Lexington, and they often make visits to Omaha and stay at not the Ronald McDonald House, the Rainbow House.
Rainbow House. Okay.
The Rainbow House.
Fair,
yes.
fair,
I'm sorry.
No, you're okay.
And so they often stay at the Rainbow House. And so they had told us about the facility and how great it is and the amenities. And so we thought, oh my gosh, if there's families with children that can't spend the holidays in their own home because their child has an illness or fighting cancer, what have you.
Yeah.
Let's bless them.
Yes.
Put myself in their shoes. Oh my gosh, where's the best place to be during the holidays? In your own home.
True.
With your own Christmas tree. All the memories, right?
Yeah.
And so that year we raised $6,000.
And again, just from your supporters and people following you and people wanting to do what you do. How do you think you went from 2,500 to 6,000? Was it easy? Was it more work? What was the change from 2,500 to 6,000?
I feel like that's kind of when my business was taking off more on
Yes.
Facebook. And
Yes.
so we were able to, again, leverage that social media platform and really advertise. And we always stress that 100% of the sales is given directly to that charity. We keep none of it. We write a check when it's all over.
And you spend money for that.
Yes, it costs us money.
Yeah, that's what, and I think people don't realize this, right? That when a small business like yourself creates goods or services, those have to be conjured from somewhere or spoken for or purchased. You got to buy the flour. Nobody's bringing you flour, right? You've got to buy the sugar. You got to buy all that stuff. And I think what's even more remarkable is I think people are forgetting not 100% of the proceeds. It's more like 130% of the proceeds, because your own money.
Right.
See, and that's what I want people to think about, is to challenge themselves to think, what is it that I can do to make an impact? And for you, it's I'm able to buy, I'm able to have the talent, and I'm able to have the treasure to be able to do all that. Some people can't write a check. That's okay.
That is okay.
It is, because money is not the only thing. It's time,
Yep.
So what was your next one after that?
So then after that, Mustaches for Kids, huge in Omaha.
Yes.
We had a crazy team of guys in our squadron every year.
Yeah.
They won Sexiest Workplace. Yeah, they would just grow some gnarly mustaches. And during COVID, it was even crazier because they could cover their mustaches while at work. So they
so they didn't have to, they got away with it.
Yeah, they could kind of skirt the regs a little bit by growing these crazy mustaches. And so partnered with Nick Phillips and his team from the First Acts. And that year, with some matches some flash matches that they did, we raised over 10,000. And then at their Stash Bash, when they released how much total they raised for the children's charities in Omaha, was over $1 million.
That's crazy.
And so Nick was like, without your $10,000 donation, because they leveraged that $10,000 donation when they do these flash matches.
Yes.
And so they were able to raise a bunch more money. I think it was like 70,000 during that flash match.
How cool is that, to be a catalyst? And so you were still in the military during COVID?
No, you
just got out.
Yeah.
But you still had all the connections.
Yep.
Okay. Got it. So then I think it was after that we met.
Yes. We met that following May.
That's right. You know all the dates. It was at our friend Leslie's wedding, and there was a couple doors, like the tables. Yeah. Or whatever. It was decorated with your charcuterie. It was an explosion of goodness. I've been at a lot of weddings, and I've been a lot of celebrations, and I look at tables, because I love food, right? I love to cook. I love to do things of that nature, but I really looked at it, and we had a 4 or 5 minute conversation. Yeah. And that was it. And then you raised how much for us? Total 20.
From the bake sale, we raised 12,000.
Yeah. But from total all up and everything, we're over 20.
Yeah.
Like easily.
24.
Yeah, 24. Who's counting, right? I mean, that is no small feat. And I know that you always are searching and vetting, and I bet people are coming up to you like, Jodi, do one for us. Or how did you choose who you have today? And will you please let us know who you chose?
Yeah, so I didn't know this lady or her cause until I saw her on a Facebook post, and she had been on the Kelly Clarkson show. Her name is Sasha.
Yes.
And she is quite the leader here in Omaha, and she is the founder of Project Intentional.
Yes.
And what they do is they empower, which we like that word at 50 Mile March.
Empower. Yes.
Caregivers. It's kind of started with single mothers, but then they found that just caregivers all around, whether it be the grandparent, whether it be the male in the situation or the female. So they empower those folks with resources, toiletries, hygiene items, socks, and then toys for the little ones. Yes. And so December 10th of this year, they will be holding their annual Winter Wonderland Emporium.
Yes.
This year, they're holding it at Baxter Arena because
That's
they're
huge.
expecting 1,500 families.
So those are the families when they come through is the one they're helping, they're empowering them.
Yes.
Okay.
So last year they helped over 600. She received $25,000 from the Kelly Clarkson show.
That's awesome.
I think she received another $25,000 from a local bank.
Sure.
And then whatever we raise, we will give to her. And there's plenty of other businesses and folks that are helping her put this on, but it's quite the task. And I am slated to volunteer on that day because I just want to be a part of it.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
It just sounds like so amazing
and life-changing.
Yeah. And so they are releasing the tickets they're not releasing them all at once because what they found in the past is that if you're a shift worker and they release all 1,500 tickets, you might miss out because you're
Understood.
working.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
so they're kind of staggering that.
Smart.
Yeah, they're staggering that this year so that everyone has a chance because last year all 600 tickets were gone in one day.
I want to talk about something real quick in perspective because I think everyone listens and they hear what they want to hear. But have you ever run out of Kleenex? Like just, you're in the car and you're like, oh my gosh, I ran out of Kleenex.
Yeah.
Doesn't that suck?
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God, I don't have Kleenex. I just left the house. I'm between the house and do I run in the store? Oh my gosh. Kleenex is a necessity, right? That you and I have the ability to purchase. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's a Kleenex. What about a toothbrush?
Yeah. There's tons of products. She has Hope Lockers.
Yes.
Around town.
Yes.
There's several locations, more downtown. But what the Hope Lockers are filled with, and it is an honor system. You take what you need.
Yeah.
And if you are able, you
leave.
You leave what you can.
I think that's important. So people can go to the Hope Lockers if they and put stuff in the Hope Locker as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow, that's great.
There is some near 132nd and Center. Pop-Up Commons, I believe, has a Hope Locker.
Yes.
They're just orange, not real tall, but they're metal lockers, and they'll say Hope Locker.
I'll make sure to put that on the links here because I have seen that, and they just have a few to start with. Correct? They're
yes.
just So here's what's crazy. Not only are you donating your time, talent, and your treasure, you're learning about them and you're walking alongside with them. What's something that you want people to, because you're getting ready to do your baking sale, right?
Yeah.
Tell people the amount of work that takes, or at least walk them through so then I can help make the ask here.
Yeah. So I will do the shopping. We've kind of got it down to a well-oiled machine. So we offer the same 5 items each year just because we know exactly. We've had some hiccups, obviously, as the 5 years we've gone through.
Yeah.
And so we've made a lot of notes. We have a little bake sale notebook and we take a lot of notes each year.
Yeah.
But it makes purchasing, planning just so much easier. We're just so much more organized by keeping that same menu. People have had it years past.
Yes.
They love it and they want it again the following year. So
for Thanksgiving.
It becomes like a tradition for their family to have the bread pudding with the pecan praline sauce.
Absolutely. And we're going to be able to put this though on our website. So we need people right now to start placing their orders. Is that correct?
Oh, yes. We stopped taking orders on the 17th. So you have about 2.5 weeks yet to place orders. And then we'll cut those orders off on the 17th because we will need to start shopping that weekend.
Yes.
And then we start preparing usually that Sunday in order to be ready for pickup on Wednesday.
Here's what's crazy. I don't think people are, I guess she's going to bake a couple things. No.
Yeah, this ain't your
this ain't for the
ain't
faint
your
of heart.
Girl Scouts sidewalk sale, bake sale. Right. This is
no hating on the Girl Scouts, but anyway,
right. We love I was
yes.
a brownie.
Okay, good. What she meant to say, the magnitude.
Yes.
But Jodi, you're going to start straight up at dark 30. And we're talking 2 days possibly, right? If not 3.
Yeah, we'll bake all day. We may start Saturday, but for sure Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, because we have to have everything packaged and ready.
That's crazy.
Because pickup is all day Wednesday. And people start picking up their orders on the way to work.
Yeah.
Some people don't work the day before Thanksgiving. So they're off. And we will be busy It's like a revolving door all day Wednesday, all the way till about 9 o'clock at
I've
night.
witnessed it because we were there that one day for last year. I mean, we're just part of it, right? And we're talking 4 days of your life minimum just to be at the helm of the creation part, right? Of just mixing the ingredients, watching the ovens. And this is not like you can go, oh gosh, sorry, I burnt this batch. No.
Oh yeah.
There's
I mean,
no room
we have
for
it
error.
down to the hour. Like, okay, we have 47 bread puddings we have to make. We can bake 4 at a time and they take an hour and 15 minutes each. I need, whatever that calculation is, 19 and a quarter hours or whatever. Crazy. So so the ovens run about 23 hours a day.
Yeah, because you got to turn them off for 1 hour, let them cool off.
I turn them off.
That's is that superstitious now? Almost.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Well, and it gives me an hour to take a nap on the couch.
Which is, so let's talk about that. In this 23 hours, you're not like, well, I'm going to go ahead and take a normal nights of sleep like everyone else. No, you can't do that.
No. I send my mom downstairs and she'll get some good rest. Because again, she's older. She has cancer.
Understood. I'm
just grateful to be able to spend that time with her and that she still helps.
Absolutely. That you trick her into voluntold. You're voluntolding her. No, and your mom is sweet. Here's what's really cool is, yes, I think I took a couple videos while you were doing it, but I wish this is my challenge for you. I wish that you would get a laptop just like I have here now, a camera, and just stream the 24 hours that you're doing this. Just let it sit on top of the fridge. I'm serious. Just let it sit there. And if people want to, you don't have to even pay attention to it. I dare you. I dare you to just do it, because I think people need to learn as you do this, the magnitude of what you're doing. I'm not trying to make you out to be some saint, but this is not just writing a check, because writing a check would probably be easier. Not in all cases, right? Not in all cases, but I'm saying it's the time that you're putting in that makes it so special. So what do we need people to do? Let's talk about a couple of things that you made. And then I want to make an announcement. Not really an announcement, but I want to hear it here first, because we'll talk about that. So why don't you talk about what we need to call to action for people for Project Intentional, because I want you to take this by storm. I want people to reach down deep, and I will help you market. Okay. But what do we want them to do?
So if you want to go on our Facebook, busybeebakingcompany.com, you can send us a message through there and we can take that down for you. You can call us. Facebook is the best place to send us a message through there so that we have that documented. We'll take your order down. Again, all pickups will be done all day on November 22nd. It's a Wednesday, the day before, and we'll be at the house all day. We live in Papillion, very near Werner Park.
Yeah, it's right off 370. It's super simple.
And I post about the bake sale every Thursday. We call it Thankful Thursday. Usually little blurb about what I'm thankful for, asking you what you might be thankful for, just to put that thought in your mind. We are in the month of November now, and not just that we should be thankful in the month of November, but
it's a good reminder.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is the season where most of us get to celebrate the things we love the most, but we need to be mindful of people who aren't able to enjoy like we are. And here's the thing, the word help is such, I want to give people, empower them and give them dignity, right? Mm-hmm. Because that's what it is at the end of the day, right? I mean, you're doing a little good. You're doing good for yourself. Yep. Send the elevator back down. Bring somebody up, bring somebody up with you. So we will make sure. I want all of my friends to participate. Listen, you still need a pie. Yeah. Could you go to that big box
tell them
store?
What we're serving.
Oh yeah. You better tell them. That's important.
So the menu we're going to have pumpkin pie. We have a Southern bourbon pecan pie, which is everyone's favorite.
Yes.
We have the bread pudding with pecan praline sauce, which we love to warm it up, put some vanilla ice cream and some fresh raspberries.
Yes.
We have the pumpkin whoopie pies, which are Jay's favorite.
You already know, and I'm okay. Keep going. Yes.
And we have carrot cake cupcakes. And so those 5 items are what we sell each year. Like I said, they're some of our favorites. It's a well-oiled machine making them in mass quantities. I'm talking mass quantities, like hundreds.
Boom. Yeah. Did we just become best friends? Yep. Yes. Stepsister and stepbrother, but from different misters. But anyway, what was I'm saying to everyone is you need to spend your money somewhere.
Yep.
Spend it with you, and in turn get something of value, right? This is not poisonous giving, folks. You're getting something quality that she's already bought the ingredients for, put her talent into it, and is going to bring joy to other people. I promise you, I have had the pumpkin. I've had your whoopie pies out of cycle because I'm usually keto, right? And I know, and I'm keto, sorry, I can't eat that. No, I'm not like that. Okay, I'm a real person. I have to have desserts and treats, every now and then. But again, can we transition now? Because I'm excited. I can't even wait. Yes.
Let me comment on that. Like you said, you can get your $6.99 ginormous Costco pie that was probably made by a lady that hates her job. I don't know. She probably really loves her job.
Yes.
Or you can get your Thanksgiving pies, maybe cost a little bit more, but made with absolute love.
Yes.
All for a good cause.
100%.
And you're supporting a small business.
I love how you're telling it real, because here's what happens. Well, I can get it from so-and-so cheaper. You can. You don't even know what you're missing until you have this. And when you have it, you'll find out exactly what you've been missing. It is home. It is not processed. It is great ingredients. It is well crafted. I promise you, you'll be back to order more, it's your customers. A lot of them become your customers when they start supporting you and, the causes that you're doing. And then they just become clients for life. But I think it's a good proponent for your business, instead of you just advertising, is you're making an impact. Oh, by the way, someone discovered your whoopie pies. Right?
And personalizing the experience.
Yes.
I love customer service. When I was a flight attendant, everything we did, it was about the best customer service. And so I want my customers to remember their experience. I don't want it to just be a transaction.
I want
it to be an experience.
Because sometimes when we talk about pricing models in business, you're like, yeah, okay, fine, but it's got to be this. And, I told you one day, why don't you just melt a chocolate kiss and put it in a muffin cup and serve it? That's that. And you're like, no, that ain't right. Okay, which leads us to the exciting and the conclusion almost of this amazing. I'm just excited. Okay. Jodi and I have been friends for a while now, and I've kind of shared with her, what my lifestyle is like. I'm a ketogenic lifestyle, and that doesn't favor sugar or sweets or carbs and again, I'm not the keto police. Okay. I'm someone that is watching my health. And I think, I can buy stuff at the store. I can buy stuff from a box. I can order stuff online. I can do protein powders and shakes and all the things, but that's processed, right? So I'm going to reveal this now, and we're going to talk about it. I'm going to eat it while you describe it, okay? So tell everyone what you decided to do the other day.
So I'm actually doing keto right now because
there's that does keto.
It's hard. There is a group of us doing 75 hard right now. And my diet, honestly, before starting 75 hard was very poor.
I get it.
I worked all the time. I wouldn't usually eat anything until noon, 1 o'clock when I started to get lightheaded. It wasn't fasting. It was just not eating.
Right. You just weren't taking care of your feeding cycle.
Yeah.
And it's not about diet. It's about your lifestyle of how you fed yourself.
Right.
Right. And sometimes you ate what your kids ate.
Yeah. And when I ate, it was usually quick. I didn't eat a lot of fast food, but it just wasn't good choices.
Oh my God. They smell so good.
So started doing keto, and I was like, man, I really would like to have a little something sweet with, a cup of coffee at night.
Yes. At night.
So like I'm a grandma. Decaf, of course.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, shoot. I drink regular coffee at 9 p.m.
Oh.
But go ahead.
And so I bought this boxed brownie mix because it said keto. I really didn't know what I was doing when I first started keto. Like I would message Jay all the time. Like,
yes. What is this?
Yeah. Am I doing this right?
Right. Like you were panicking. Oh,
I was,
the
because I'm
pea
like, if I'm
strips
going
and all
to
this
spend the
stuff.
time doing this, I
Yes.
want to make sure I'm doing it right.
And I'm not trying to compliment you, but you look amazing, by the way. Yeah. You
10
know,
pounds.
you already know, like, I mean, you feel different. You
I do.
look different.
Energy.
100%. And you're not sluggish. You're not like,
Nope.
eh. So I'm not trying to overcompliment, but this led into the next part of the journey. So you went to the store the other day.
Yeah. And I was like, I should do some keto baking. It can't be that hard, right?
Because you told Becky on her birthday, oh, I was going to do a cake.
Becky's birthday
I
just
should have
passed.
done a
And I was
cake.
like,
Yeah.
man, I should have made you a keto cake. And she was like, you bake keto? And I was like, well, no, but I feel like I should dabble in it,
Yes,
you know?
yes. This is literally the other day. I can't even make this up. This is like fresh. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you went to the store 2 days ago?
Yeah, 2 days ago.
You and
you were
Charlie?
like, you're going to do this week. I was like, yeah, it's actually kind of a slow week. I'm getting prepared for the big thing in a couple weeks.
Yes.
And
you're talking too slow. I'm just going to bite this. Keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
And so, yeah, so I made a few things. Jay's favorite.
Yes.
We turned the regular pumpkin whoopie pie into the
Oh my gosh.
keto.
And it's soft. It's soft.
It's soft.
Oh, I thought it was going to be like almond flour hard, right? Like, okay, let's just talk. Can I save this for last? I'm going to save that for last. Okay. Holy smoke. It's so soft that my mouth just salivated.
Yeah.
It's so soft. My mouth just was like, I swear, I'm not kidding. Like it's okay. Okay. So let's talk about this.
Okay. So that's coconut, pecans, dark chocolate.
Okay. Coconut.
On a shortbread crust.
Okay. And what are the ingredients on here? Like talk to me what ingredients went into this. Just,
so
I don't need
flour,
measurements. Yep.
Coconut flour. It's got your normal baking agents, baking powder, baking soda, butter.
Fair. Yes.
Some cream in that one, vanilla.
Anything processed? No, it's all okay. Keep talking.
The monk fruit sweetener.
Sorry. Be quiet, everyone. For real. Hold on. There's no cooling effect. So when you eat keto made things, there's a cooling effect from sugar alcohol. So you used monk fruit in this, right?
Yeah.
Mostly. But the butter lingers for a little bit, I feel, which is good. I mean, that's what I want my mouth coated with is butter, not the cooling effect. Hold on. I just you keep talking. You're gonna hear me breathe. Why don't you keep talking?
So next we've got the chocolate fudge brownie.
I'm not there yet.
Oh, well, take your time.
Okay. Tell me about the chocolate fudge brownie.
Yeah. So again,
oh my God, it's soft too.
It's got the almond flour, the coconut flour, unsweetened cocoa.
And it has a ridge. It has a ridge like a real fudge brownie, like an edge.
It's not all flat.
No, hold on. Sorry. This is all for me anyway. You're not going to eat this, right?
No.
And then Becky's not even tasting this. Is it on my face?
No.
Okay. I think it is. Anyway, let's try it. Hold on. When my teeth just went onto that, the mouthfeel is amazing. Hold on.
It's not dry.
No, it is. I can say it. It is moist. It is. It's not spongy. It's like a thick. Hold on. Oh my God. Jodi, I'm so rude right now. But I don't even care. I'm not saying this because you're here. I like it. What was the first thing that I was having again?
Yeah, so that's the pecan coconut dark chocolate.
The reason I'm smacking is because I'm looking for an aftertaste. There is none. Or a cooling effect. There is none. Proportionately, the butter in this one as well. I think that's where, and that's what makes it really expensive because you got to use real butter, right? Did you use salted or unsalted butter?
I always use salted.
Okay, good.
So then
good.
I just omit. Most
Salt,
recipes call for salt. Yeah, so then I just omit that.
Oh my God. I feel so bad, like the only one eating. Okay, because Charlie, who's offset right now, she just had some earlier. And she had a whoopie pie, right? Okay, don't tell me how that one was. Okay, tell me what this one is.
That's the almond cookie.
Oh, yes.
So that's the almond cream cheese cookie.
Okay. I was gonna be like, can we name it the almond press, the Filipino style cookie? I don't know. Just okay. I'm gonna try. So one more time. This is the almond with cream cheese.
Yes.
Stop it. Just stop with it. Okay. All right. It smells amazing. Sorry. I don't want to devour it and just be like, oh, the experience. I wish I wasn't doing this on camera so I could honestly enjoy it. But I think this is okay. Here we go. Oh, okay. Shut. Hold on. Gosh, Jodi. Why does it taste granular? Like, not like there's real sugar in here.
That's probably the almond flour that you're tasting.
I know, but it feels like
a little bit. It's not as smooth as like regular flour.
Good. I feel like I'm chewing on sugar, which makes me scared. Like, come on, there's got to be sugar.
No.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Because, most baked goods, when you chew into it, you feel the sugar. And you're like, oh, that's what I feel.
The almond flour has a little bit. It's more coarse, I guess you could say, than regular flour. It's not as fine. So it has a little bit more of a gritty.
This right here, I'm trying to taste. Is there vanilla in here too?
Vanilla and almond.
That's what I do taste. Oh my gosh. But when people bite into this, so part of enjoying a dessert, okay, first of all, I don't want people to be like beating me up here. These are treats. These are not something I would be having just like every day. I don't eat dessert every day. Neither did I dessert every day. These are treats for occasions or things to spoil yourself with. Like, listen, oh, Jay, that's not keto. Neither is a Pizza Hut pizza that you shoved in your mouth 2 weeks ago. So stop lecturing me, right? So sorry. But anyway, about the mouthfeel. So when I bite into it, I feel I've eaten most of this one. The outside starts crisp, like it's really well put together. And then the inside is really like, that one almost feels like a powdery donut.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? That's crazy to me. All right. Here is my favorite. Here's my favorite. Look, like I'm telling you, just touching this whoopie pie.
It's soft.
Yes, for those
it's
of you.
It's moist from the pumpkin.
Yes, yeah. There's real pumpkin in here.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. She's like, oh,
what,
yeah.
You think I flavored it with pumpkin?
Yeah, no.
Pumpkin extract. Come on, Jay.
Let's go. These are fighting words. Don't be bullying me on my show. Here we go. Okay. Oh, you hear that? Mm-mm.
That's got maple cream cheese filling.
Stop it.
Is it better than the original?
Is that maple extract then, or maple syrup? What is
that's maple extract?
Yeah. Oh my God, which makes it even better. Okay. Yeah. What's the question?
Is it better than the original?
Hold on. Let me just enjoy it. No. Sorry, folks, if you hear this chomp. I know it's not very polite, but I'm just getting no cooling effect. The cream is very it's rich. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like this would satisfy. Okay, big steak, maybe whatever, big steak. This would be, honestly, this is good enough for a week. And what I think I need people to realize is, what I need people to realize is it's an experience. And I think all desserts are an experience, right? Or whatever you want to call them. This is not something to be devoured in 3 bites.
Right.
I could stretch this out over 18 bites. Like it's that good. Sorry. Keep talking. As you were. No. I'm serious when I say this, though. You're extremely talented. And I think that's the most dessert I've ever had in one sitting. And remember, this is keto. Or I should say they're this is not the keto lifestyle. This is just a addition to the keto lifestyle, right? If you have to have something, this is it. This is incredible.
Thanks.
This is the first time anyone's ever tasted your keto,
Yeah,
right?
your first one.
I taste the real pumpkin.
Yeah.
See, here's what's crazy is I've eaten half these desserts and I don't feel any bloat. Do you know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah.
That's actually a lot to consume in a 10-minute period. And I would never do that. I'm doing that for today because I really want to know. And I hope there's enough for Becky. But I will have pictures of all this as well. I want you to keep doing this because there is a space of people and a tribe that are looking for alternatives. People have told, I would love to enjoy her stuff, but I'm diabetic. I would love to enjoy her stuff, but I'm, this, or I'm this. And there's a lot of, but I think when you have this responsibly, especially this, there's nothing processed here. Right. This is almond flour, butter, cream cheese, extract, like almond extract, vanilla extract, coconut. That's coconut, correct? Yep. Yes. And that is chocolate, stevia, I believe. Pecans, like
whipping cream. Yeah, it's all
eggs.
Yeah.
But see, I can put these ingredients together in a bowl too, and it wouldn't come out the same. Jodi?
But yeah, I wanted to kind of dabble in it because now that I'm trying this keto journey, I was looking in the store and I'm like, oh my gosh, this stuff is A, outrageous.
Yes.
B, all processed.
100% processed.
And really doesn't satisfy the want of like a dessert. So
this is authentic. It's sorry. I know I'm putting it down for a second. I got to put it down. I want you to actually think about doing this. This is your mini launch, but I want people to think when they think Busy Bee Baking Company, I want them to know that you're legit, you're the real deal. I don't care if it's an almond cookie that is keto or a full-blown whoopie pie made with your original recipe. I think you can serve many audiences, and I think you're going to open yourself up to a new audience, and I think this is going to make an impact. One, in your business. Two, is in our community. Excuse me. I just, so good. It's in my teeth. I want to say though, just like your baking, just like your talent and your service to our country. I want you to know, like, your energy is incredible. Your giving heart is incredible. The way, I don't think anyone has run across you in my circle and says, I don't like her. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you're just so even keeled. You're quiet. You don't like the front spotlight. You're quiet. You're all about action. And this is something that the community needs to get behind, especially in this next upcoming Thanksgiving. And you have made an impact in your prior years just with this business, as well as your service to our community. Is there anything that you want people to know that we haven't discussed today? Like anything that you want to just share your heart with and say, hey, I think this, or this is what I think. I know it's a hard question, but what do you want people to think of? How about this? Let's make it easy. What do you want them to think about when they spend money with you?
So yeah, I just would want people to know that, again, I want it to be an experience, not just a business transaction. From the very first time, I'm very conscious about if someone sends me a message and I'm not in the right space, if I'm at a kid's practice or I'm outside of the house, I usually don't respond to messages because I don't want to forget that I need to respond back to them, or that I need to take down their order. And so I just have this practice where if I see a message come through that's business, I don't respond to it until I get home.
Yes. Fair.
But I am very timely in my response, because I know people appreciate that. You know, they don't want to wait 24, 48 hours.
But you're a mom too.
I am.
And a wife.
And we've talked about that balance and,
yeah.
And prioritizing that time. But when you're a business owner, it's not a 9 to 5.
Can they call a big box store at 10:40 at night and talk about their order tomorrow?
They can't.
No.
But if that's the time where I have a chance, plenty of my customers get responses at 5 a.m. And I'm like, I hope they're awake or their phone's on vibrate.
Yes.
But that's the quiet time where the kids are still asleep, the coffee's brewing, and I can respond to messages really quickly, and my calendar's right there. So yeah, I pride myself on again, that experience. And I usually, if it's a new customer, I will almost 99% of the time follow up with a message of, I want to know, like, did you love the cake? If not, give me the feedback, because that's the only way I can get better. I'm a complete custom baker. So there are times where the cake that I'm baking you, it might be a completely new, not a new recipe,
but a variation because it's custom.
Yes, because I may be taking a few different things and putting them together to make that custom cake for you. And so I want to know from my clients. I kind of feel like I'm like the state motto of Nebraska. Busy bee it's not for everyone. And that's fine.
Oh my gosh, that is true, because
that's fine.
If you were all things to all people, you'd be nothing to no one. Ooh,
that's a good one.
Did I just make it up? You know I did. No, it's true though.
I don't want all the customers in Omaha. A, it's impossible. And B, everyone has different flavor palette. And I get that.
Yes.
But for the customers who love my product, I want to be the very best for those customers because they are loyal to me. Therefore, I want to give them my best. And going back on one of the other things you said, time, talent, treasure. It's the season of giving. It's the season where usually people are in a good mood. Yeah, it's a high stress season. People are usually in a much better mood.
Yeah.
They're more willing to give. So like Jay said, you don't have to make a difference by writing a $10,000 check. Find a hope locker and put one thing of deodorant in it.
Oh my gosh, that makes a big
difference. Next time you're at Costco, pick up a 10-pack of socks and drop it off to one of the donation centers for Project Intentional.
Yes.
It can be something small. You may find it trivial, but there's those 10 people that receive those socks. It is anything but trivial this winter. So yeah, those are small things that you can do. If you don't have the monetary means, find something to volunteer for. Take an hour or two. Again, it will fill your cup.
Well, with that being said, I want to say thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being on the show again. Yeah. And if you love Busy Bee Baking Company, it's because you have good taste. Boom.
Connecting the dots, connecting his guests to the world, creating more connections. Welcome to The Connection. Meet your host, author, coach, Air Force veteran, Jay Miralles.